We did it.
I think we got them all.
Oh, let me grab Instagram's focus again.
Oh, we got
There
to
we go.
Well, welcome back. Welcome everybody to Monday Night Live.
Yes. The best night of the week.
Best night of the week. We are always trying to get all the feeds up, and tonight we're trying something a little different. We have to put our Instagram
hello
way out there,
over there
so that we can get both of us in. I'm going to scoot over a little bit so that we don't have just half of our faces. Hopefully that helps on Instagram. So it's always quite the ordeal. But we are excited. Oh my gosh. It is
5 days to Christmas.
During this wonderful holiday season, depending on what you're celebrating.
Yes.
We are right in the middle of, well, not in the middle of, but a little past the middle of Hanukkah.
Correct. Yes.
And so we're really, a lot of menorahs are lit up, which is really cool. We got 5 days till the Christmas holiday. And so here we are. And so tonight, obviously, our topic is going to be around the holiday.
Yes, the celebration. Can we talk for just 1 minute, though, about winter solstice? Happy winter, everybody.
Right.
The great news is that it will start to get lighter longer. And today's the shortest, darkest day of the year for those of us here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited to be heading towards summer.
Oh, I feel
like
love it.
Just tap and go. Just
Tap and go.
head us to June.
It's like swimming when I was a kid. You know, you're swimming, you touch the wall, and you're already headed back the other direction.
Yes.
So,
but there are a lot of really cool cosmic events for anybody that kind of follows this world. There's Jupiter and Saturn, and all the moons are all lined up right now. So that's pretty significant. That doesn't happen very often.
it's been, I think, what is it, between 500 or 600 years,
right? Yes,
since it's been this aligned.
Yes. So it's beautiful. So if you don't have clouds in your sky tonight, go look at the stars. There's supposed to be some pretty cool stuff going on in the heavens above. So just go check it out.
Meteor showers. We should
Yes.
have a lot of those going on, like we're forecasting or something. But it is a great time, and I do love that you point out. The one thing that is really important to recognize is that everything has a season in life, and we really need to be more aware of our seasons. And as we move back, you know, we've reached the pinnacle, and now we're already headed back towards summer, starting tomorrow.
Yes.
For some of us summer people.
And I love that you brought in that seasonal aspect and being able to find the beautiful things in the season that you're in. We talk about that a lot. And it's no secret, you guys know that I really struggle in the winter. Like I really, really have a hard time. I'm a desert lizard. I think you're similar.
Very much so. Yeah.
And so, but still there's all these incredible things that we have going on around us and within us as we move forward in life and through time.
Yep. Well, we are excited to spend time with you tonight and get ready for the holiday season that's coming up for some of you, and to work through the holiday season that you're currently in the middle of. And then also being aware next week, obviously, as we get to Monday Night Live, we'll be talking about the new year.
Yes.
And some cool things that we really want to challenge you all with moving into the new year. Every year we try to do something. The last couple of years, we have really challenged you at the beginning of the year. And as we go into that, and we'll do the same next week.
Right. And just to put it on your radar, we do have our Goals and Intentions workshop coming up just after the first of the year. It's the 8th and the 9th.
I believe so.
Those the dates on it?
I believe so, yeah.
It's the Friday and Saturday right there. We'll get you the dates even better. You can find the event on our Facebook page if you know where to find that. But definitely we'll be bringing you some cool content because we're nerds about that stuff.
Yes.
Those
I never
goals
thought I'd be
and
considered
manifestation
a nerd in that area.
and creation and intention setting. We nerd out about it around here.
Yes, we do. So tonight we really wanted to focus in on the idea of what takes us out of the holiday and really what keeps us from enjoying the holiday and experiencing the holiday to its fullest. And that's the one thing as I'm noticing. So we usually try to base a lot of our topics around what we're seeing come across our office as people are coming in, sitting down and working through things. And one of the themes that we were talking about today that seems to be always kind of around this time of year is the idea of Christmas and navigating families and navigating the holiday and navigating through all of this experience and still maintaining a sense of well-being.
Yes, absolutely. It reminds me every time of, oh, sorry, over here. Boom. It reminds me every time of being into my own experience, my mother's side of the family, so the Nilsson side of our family, we do a giant celebration every year. We call it the Chair of Cheer. It is the most loud, riotous. It is the best night of all the year. Like, we look forward to it. We quote the Grinch nonstop all night. My grandfather reads a story. We sing carols. And this year, with it being the interesting year that we're having, we did it all via Zoom, and it was lovely and it was wonderful. My grandfather's actually in a rehab center. He had a fall. He's nearly 90, so it's all like kind of fresh and a little bit scary. But my uncle had a recording of him reading The Selfish Giant, which is what he reads every year. And we're all, I don't know about my cousins and stuff because we weren't in the same space, but me and my siblings were all a mess. Just tears flowing because he wasn't there. He's in the rehab. We're not actually all together. It's like, oh my gosh. And then you start to get the fragility of age and of maybe this being his last Christmas and all of those things. And we really are like just grasping for the magic of moments of when we were young and what the Chair of Cheer was like back then. And the thought of losing that is really sad and it hurts a lot. Yep. And so those Christmas pasts can really taint our present because not all of the pieces are there that make that magic. Right.
Yeah, and that is the big challenge is to be the ability to be present and to stay present in those areas. And that is a very, very hard thing. And so as we look at the Christmas past, in a lot of ways, it really does set us up. And so I like how you said the ghost of, and really what it is the ghost itself is expectations. So it's the expectations of Christmas past and the expectations of Christmas future. And living with those expectations can really affect us in an adverse way. Mm-hmm. So as you're talking about, we're looking at the way things were and the way things felt, and we draw on those. We have those special moments, as you were talking about, being in it, and being there and feeling and expressing. But what takes us out of that is the expectation that things is going to be different. Things are going to be different, or expecting things to be the same. Mm-hmm. And in a lot of ways, that can be, I'm going to sneeze, very devastating. Sorry, I almost sneezed. Very devastating for us to keep ourselves present and to keep ourselves in that space. Mm-hmm. So those expectations is what I really see pull people out. So when you had that expectation of your grandfather and wanting to be there and wanting to be in that moment, it can be painful, but being able to surrender to it is really what it sounded like made it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another piece that's hard for us in our human experience, like we talk about being human all the time, right, is oftentimes too, we do experience loss, right? You might not be with the significant other that you were with last year at the holidays, or you may we talked about last year how when my father passed away, that was the first Christmas without my dad, and how kind of difficult that is. And I know that there's lots of people that are grieving loss of loved ones and loss of relationships and loss of children and all sorts of things, which can also make this time particularly different because it is so beautifully focused on the family. So if you don't have some of those relationships still intact, or aren't able to go home for Christmas, maybe you are stuck where you're at because of quarantine or whatever's happening, it can add to a lot of the difficulty. And I think that still comes from our Christmas past.
Right. And we have in our minds the way things are going to look or the way they should look. And as you talk about traditions, and I love that you drew in, like, these are the traditions that we had, but our ability to be accepting, and we talk a lot about acceptance as a coping skill, but being able to be accepting of that moment, accepting of the limitations, accepting of those things, and being able to process through that using acceptance, which we always talk about. The one thing we try to stress is acceptance is the absence of expectations. And so the more that you can go into this holiday season, whatever that holiday season is for you, that you're experiencing it, without letting the ghosts of Christmas past or the fears of Christmas futures all of that stuff creeping in. Allow yourself to be present in the moment that you're in. The best way to do that is to look at, do I have expectations? If so, what do I need to do to let those go?
Right. And what an incredible, we're always talking about figuring out how to teach this to the next generation as well, right? And what more beautiful gift than to be able to teach those that you're around how to do that.
Right.
And to just really revel in the moment that you're in with the absence of expectation.
Right.
Which is, I mean, I know something that I work on every single day.
Yes.
And still get trapped
we all
into.
Do. We all do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of it is because we're trying, as we've always talked about, trying to predict pain. We're trying to control outcomes. In other words, maybe we're trying to duplicate. This is one that I see a lot of families struggle with, is they're either afraid of duplicating something or they're trying to duplicate something. And by doing that, that's when we get frustrated. I love traditions. I think traditions in holidays are what really connect people and really help us move forward. But if we expect those traditions to look the same every year, then we're going to constantly be disappointed and constantly feel frustrated.
You know, I'm just sitting here thinking of, I used to think it was really unique that my family did the Christmas pajama thing, but come to find out just about everybody does that, right? Just about, right? So you're talking about that recreation, right? It would be like getting the same set of pajamas every single Christmas, like not having your size change or anything. Like you're growing up, you don't fit in that size anymore, and you still get the red plaid pajama bottoms with the Santa Claus top that doesn't fit you anymore. Yeah. Right? Like we grow and evolve, and so do the traditions.
Right. And we need to let them.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we need to let them. Exactly. They're going to have that flavor and the hint of all of that nostalgia and all of that. It's really romantic. The idea of traditions, I think. It can be, and it's beautiful. So it's going to have all of those essence in there. It's just going to be a different size.
Right.
And look a little different.
One of the other things that is always so cool to me about traditions is to understand where traditions come from.
Oh, yes.
And most of the time, traditions come from necessity. And if we are always getting stuck in things having to be the same way or expecting them to always be the same way, what we don't open ourselves up is for, as you put it, the evolution of the tradition. And most traditions, they are an evolution. They are a necessity that occurred. And I think about the traditions of doing the scavenger hunt with our kids when they were young. We would do a scavenger hunt every Christmas, ending in hot chocolate.
Oh, fun!
And now that has evolved. It's changing. It's evolving, and it's got to evolve to the next generation, and them taking their traditions or the traditions that they want and moving them forward. But back then, that was a tradition out of necessity. It was all we had was we would take Christmas ornaments that we had and we would somehow write them into some type of a scavenger hunt because back then we didn't have a lot, and that's all we could really do. And so it became a really cool, powerful experience and fun experience to do with the kids. But it is something that now, to step back as a father, a grandfather, and watch those things evolve to see what they do with them will be a very powerful experience as some of my grandchildren are so young. But it is about necessity where a lot of our traditions come from. And we need to embrace that those traditions will evolve. They will grow. But if we put that blinders on and say, this is how I want it to look, and I do see a lot of people become disenchanted. They become frustrated. They become, the hurt and the pain of the past that creeps into the present of today. Then it becomes an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. So, fun fact about Dean: he just had fear shoot up his spine because I'm talking about him.
I know,
publicly on camera.
And this is usually where you out me over something. So I'm I'm bracing myself.
You're fine. I promise. Dean is a total history buff, and so when you were going into stuff usually comes from necessity. I was like gearing in, like all excited to find out why it is that we do jammies on Christmas.
Some historical phenomenon.
Right, which war or something introduced that into our society.
Actually, in all fairness, it was a post-World War II tradition.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, see?
But I'm not going to get into that. That's not what we're here for. But that is where the pajama thing came from, just so that you're wondering. It was a necessity because a lot of people had a lot, and that's something that they could make sure the kids got every year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love it. It's beautiful.
Me.
It's
don't
beautiful.
Wind me up.
Just fun little facts about Dean Nixon, by the way. But I love that you touched on that. Trivial facts, right?
Yes, I am abundant.
Which, I mean, do it as a society, as a generation, it all is the same. We're just right in your tiny little family of your immediate space. It's still reaching back into that history, that past, to be able to bring that forward. Which kind of reminds me, I've been working with a really cool family lately, and it's their first Christmas basically since a divorce happened last year. And some of the kids are really struggling, and so I really gave them the challenge to create a new tradition.
Yeah.
For the kids to get together and decide something that they could do in order to be able to start something new for their family, because they're feeling
on both sides.
On both sides, exactly. Because they're, like divorce with any family, the kids start to feel really powerless and really like there's a lot of emotion that goes in there, right? But so a way to be able to kind of take some of the control back in their Christmas when they're split and going this way and going that way was to create something new. And I'm really excited to see what it is that they come up with, because I haven't talked to them in a minute, but
it'd be fantastic, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that also can be something new and fun and different if we do lose pieces to the ghosts of Christmas past with our traditions. Is that you still are alive and breathing right now. You still can do that right now. Right. So for what it's worth.
What it's worth. And I love it. And as we're talking, we are into different holidays with that. And I know that as we look at some of the more older cultures, we look at Hanukkah, which is a very, very older holiday, traditional holiday. And all of those pieces that come with all these different holidays, we really want to look at and be aware of what are we bringing to this experience? What are we bringing? And that's the last thing I really, as I'm looking at the time, want to focus on with the last few minutes. We're always talking about being a creator and being the creator of your life and the life that you want. And this is a perfect opportunity for you as an individual to be a creator of your holiday. To be a creator during this period of time of how you want to experience it, how you want to feel it, and how you want it to feel. We focus so much in our creation of what we don't want to experience. We focus so much of our creation on trying to avoid or trying to control. But my challenge to you is to really focus on how you want it to feel. As you go into this holiday, what are the feelings? And I would challenge you to sit down and write down 4 specific things that you want to feel during this holiday. And allow the creation of the holiday to take its place and finding those feelings in those moments, whatever they evolve to be. No matter how grand, no matter how small, but take the time to focus on those 4 feelings that you are going to create within yourself. And once you do that, then allow them to radiate to the people around you and become a part of this holiday. And who knows, maybe you will create a new tradition.
Oh, I love it. That's perfect. You know me, Dean, I love action steps. So I'm going to be making my 4 emotions that I want to feel.
Me too.
My list. And I'll check it twice.
Well, thank you as always. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We can't see all the comments.
I know.
We apologize.
I'm pretty sure Jamie Leitner was up here being snarky about our winter. I'm pretty sure I saw that come
up
through
in Michigan,
there.
Yes.
She's like, haha, you guys don't even experience winter.
Yeah.
Yes, we do, okay? St. George gets winter, too.
We do. We get down in the 40s and the 30s. Come on.
But we love you all. And from our hearts here at Turning Leaf Health and Wellness to you and your families, we really wish you a very happy holiday and cannot wait to see you in the new year.
Yes. Well, we'll see you before the new year.
Oh, right. We've got another Monday Night Live.
Got to keep her in tow. So thank you all very much for liking and sharing our videos, and we will see you all next week on
Monday Night Live.
All right. Thank you,
Good
everybody.
night.
Good night. Now to get to all the devices. I can't find this one.
Instagram's so far back.
Is it up top?
I think so.
I don't know what that sound was.
That was the. Let's make sure that YouTube is actually done.
I think we got them all. Oh, we got it.
We did it.
Well, welcome back. Welcome everybody to
Delete every 30
Monday Night Live.
days?
Yes,
No.
the best night of the week.
Best night of the
Welcome
week.
back,
We
welcome
are
everybody
always,
to Monday Night
trying to
Live.
get all-
Yes,
What is
Why
that
would they
setting
do
that
that?
happened?
Delete every 30 days. What is wrong with this place?
Dang it. Forgot to go public on this bad boy.
Oh, I might have two
That's new. That's new. It popped up on mine too.
on
Delete after
Facebook.
30 days, yes. And so I had to switch it.
What is wrong with this
Freaking
world?
Zuckerberg. I hope we're still live somewhere. Mark Zuckerberg, I'm coming for you.
Oh, it's marked public, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? If you look. Okay. Two comments. Welcome back. Welcome everybody. Welcome back, everybody. I don't see our comments. Where are the comments?